Do we have sound? Do we have sound? Sup, Bomber fan? Yes, we have sound. Yes. Hallelujah, we have sound. Oh, man, we have sound. All right. What is going on, guys? Oh, man. What is going on? All right, so let me explain what happened. Don't ever buy an iBuyPower PC. Apparently, you have USB 3.0 ports that decide not to work when they don't want to work, and therefore, you know, that's my sign language. Peace. What's up, Bruce? Bored at work? Oh, no battery needed. A lot of power. We got a lot of power right here, guys. I mean, I could light up Yankee Stadium right now. A lot of power. What is going on, guys? How are you? Riverflow, what's up? Mario, what is good? And, man, I don't know what's up, man. Freaking audio. You know, if I didn't have 100,000 subscribers, that'd be very embarrassing, right? If I only had like 10 subscribers and there were only like 3 people in the room, they'd never come back. But I know you guys know that, yeah, I can fix stuff. Huh? We got it fixed. And we're back with take 2. So, the show must go on. All right. So, Maria, what is good? Obama, thank you. And Refrigeration Tech, thanks. Daryl Zutter, Gabe Nation, Mario, with that ology. All right. Christina, how you doing? How you doing, sweetheart? Smack the thumbs up, guys. Yes, we're smacking thumbs up. Oh man, that audio fiasco was a little embarrassing. Listen, guys, I've been like doing like a shitload of upgrades, as you guys can tell. You guys can tell from, you know, behind me, the intro, just really trying to up the production value here with ReviewDork. Just because we've got a super play button don't mean we rest easy and, you know, sit on our laurels and say, hey, you know, we made it on YouTube. You know, we got bigger and better plans. Gabe Nation, ReviewDork. Paper Plate Fan. You know, Paper Plate Fan, did you not get that ology? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. We have volume, right? Mario Kali saying no volume. Listen, dude, if you don't got no volume, you need to turn the volume on your phone. Everyone's saying we got volume. Oh, man. All right, guys, so what I want to do is talk about a couple of things that happened this past week. I mean, we learned about the Samsung Fold, and we also got something from Huawei. And I want to talk about the Samsung Fold for a second, because not a lot of people, you know, really look at this device here. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty, and it folds, you know, the screen's on the inside. Samsung did a really good job of making this thing look beautiful. I really got to hand it to them. But I don't know. It just, is this the form factor of the future? And honestly, I think this is the form factor of the future. I just can't deal with that thigh gap right there. You see that thigh gap in the middle of the phone? You know, that phone looks like it's been opened and closed 100,000 times, even though it's rated for 200,000 times. That thigh gap was serious. Oh my. You know, a lot of cool features. Yes, it is a phablet, you know, and you can do a lot. I think you could do a lot of cool things with this form factor. And I really do think it's a game changer. And guys, if you don't think that folding phones are the future, it absolutely is. I mean, you know, we go ahead and we check out our phone, and it's pretty much like a slab of glass. Now, we go ahead and answer texts and we go ahead and, you know, selfies, do all that stuff. But when it's time for Netflix or when it's time to watch a YouTube video and watch my ugly ass, you know, it's pretty cool. You just open up a phone and boom, it's right there. You know, the phone hasn't had a form factor change in the past, wow, 10, 15 years. I mean, ever since the original iPhone, everyone pretty much just followed that form factor. Except for BlackBerry, and we know what happened with BlackBerry. BlackBerry insisted on their keyboard, and I mean, BlackBerry was the ish. If you were in IT, you had a BlackBerry, and even if you weren't in IT, BlackBerries were, I don't know, it was like a device that you had if you were like cool, if you were it, you know, if you were showing your social, I don't know, trajectory. You see what I'm saying? But I think folding phones are the way to go. I really like that idea, you know, text on the front, open it up, you know, watch your media on a bigger screen, look at a map closely, you know, FaceTime, all that stuff. I really think, yeah, I really think it's going to be pretty awesome. But then Huawei came out with something with the Mate X. Now, I really like this design. You guys see it there? I like the design a lot better than Samsung's design. You know, it's got a hell of a lot of screens when it's closed up. I'm not really too sure of the durability. I mean, you guys see that, right? It's I don't know. The screen looks like it's made out of some like polyurethane or something. I don't know. It just looks funny, right? But I like the form factor. I think if Huawei and Samsung had a kid, it'd be a great device. I really do think it is the future. And so I really like these two devices. Huawei came out swinging. I mean, but these devices are $2,000, over $2,000. So if you're going to be one of the first to jump in on it, the early adopters, you're going to pay a pretty penny. But I promise you, in the next 2 or 3 years, folding phones will be as synonymous as 5G. And yeah, so, but I like Huawei's phone a lot better. I just like its design. And so let me know in the comments there, what do you guys think? Like, if these phones were, let's say, at the price of a Galaxy S9 or maybe even a, you know what, let's go cheaper because I know you guys like to be cheap. Let's say you could get these phones for the price of a Note 4. Which phone would you get? Would it be the Mate X or would it be the Samsung Fold? You guys can go ahead and decide. Let me know what you guys think. Celia, how are you? Tony Brown said cheap motorcycle. Robert's asking about US TV Hub. You know, I really don't follow those type of APKs, guys. I mean, like, if you guys want APKs that work, you know, like, you can go ahead and go on over to other YouTuber channels, but you could also go ahead and check out codyapps.com. Go to the APK section. It is updated with the latest working APKs. You can't go wrong. It's codyapps.com. They have an APK section. Obviously, you guys, you know, you can go to Aptoid or, you know, what's that, FileLink or whatever you guys are doing with those APKs. But codyapps.com has the latest and greatest and is always up to date with what are the hottest APKs, such as Cinema. You guys love Cinema. I mean, how many of you guys love Cinema? Can we get like a couple of ones here? You know, you guys really love Cinema. Miami, is that Miami? Miami fan, thank you. I try. I'm a fan, thank you. Everyone's pressing 1. All right, cool. That's cool. Now, what I want to talk about also, and these shows are going to evolve, and they're going to continually get better, but what I wanted to integrate into these shows are some basically some know-how, some tips and tricks, and some humor. I remember when I first started these live shows, I was just shooting the shit, you know, having beer, that kind of thing. And I feel like we've strayed off of that. So I just want this to be like fun. You guys comment, I'll goof on you, you guys goof on me. But we want to make sure that your time here is worth something. So what I want to share with you guys, and the link is down in the description, I want to share with you guys a cool way to know how much internet speed you really need. Are you overpaying internet speed? Now, this is a speed calculator, and I've included a link down in the description so you guys can go ahead and check this out. But a lot of people go ahead and they say, is 100 megabits per second enough? Is 200 megabits per second enough? Or, you know, maybe you have a Netflix 4K subscription, and maybe you have 4 TVs. Maybe your kid's hogging up Netflix in his room. Maybe he's downloading games. Whatever the case may be, this will help you get a ballpark figure. And in my case, I was just playing around, 280 megabits per second for a 5-person household. And so, you know, I like to say that if you guys have the Netflix 4K subscription, there's no point in having a 4K television, guys, if you're not watching 4K, right? So you probably got Netflix. You got the subscription. You can, 4 devices? So that's 4 TVs in your house. And Netflix recommends at bare minimum 25 megabits per second download, right? So 4K files are big files. But, you know, also if you have gamers in your house, you know, you have to take that into consideration, especially now when, you know, even if you have an Xbox One X or a PS4, you know, if you're downloading a game, you know, it's about 80 gigs, right? And they're going to suck up, 40 to 50 megabits per second just to download that game in a timely fashion. And so, yeah, you guys want to go ahead and check out that link in the description, help you get a better understanding of how much internet you really need. Some people have less than what they really need and expect that, you know, they're going to watch 4K on dial-up, and no, that's not going to happen. Get rid of your Walmart Mickey Mouse internet and get into something a little more, I don't know, 100 megabits per second, 200 megabits per second. I like to say if you have a family of 4 and you guys are power users, everybody's on the damn internet, 200 megabits per second will be more than enough. If it's just you and your spouse, and maybe a kid or a dog and your imaginary friend, I mean, yeah, 100 megabits per second will do enough. But also keep in mind, you know, we all have about a 1,024 gigabyte max. Now, your internet service provider isn't telling you this, that you're actually maxed out. And I get a lot of people saying, well, hey, you know, am I getting throttled? Now, Comcast and Verizon have gone on record and said that they no longer throttle their customers, which is interesting. But they do. And you do get throttled when you start approaching that cap. Once you hit 80% of your cap, so, you know, you're at 800 gigabytes, right? Now, keep in mind, gigabytes is different from gigabits, right? Keep in mind. So a gigabyte is the size of the file. A gigabit is your transfer rate. So if anyone's ever getting confused and mismatching or not knowing the difference between a bit and a byte is a transfer rate, a byte is the size of the file. And so with that being said, you do have that cap of 1,024 gigabytes. Now what happens? Well, let's really put this into perspective, guys, because if you're downloading 4K movies that are 50 gigs, I mean, 100 movies, well, 10 movies would be 500 gigabytes, right? So 50 gigs, 10 4K movies, you download it, that's 500 gigabytes. Times that by 2, now you got 1,000 gigabytes, so you got 100, whatever, I'm not doing the math, you guys can figure it out. But if you also got kids in your home that are also downloading, you know, you're hitting that cap really fast. So towards the end of the month, you guys start throttling and your IPTV service isn't working. I don't care if it's Vader's or Nitro or Ology TV. It's always towards the end of the month that, you know, you see support tickets like, oh, I'm buffering. Well, man, you must be a Pornhub VIP member, and you're straight up streaming porn all day, every day. Good Lord, get off of it, brother. You see what I'm saying? So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Always be sure to know, well, the internet you really need. And also consider an upgrade. I have links down in the description to upgrade your wireless router. Next week, we're going to be talking about Wi-Fi 6. Should you get it, I mean, the Samsung Galaxy 10 will be among the first phones with Wi-Fi 6 capability. Now, Wi-Fi 6 has a theoretical network speed of 9.6 gigabits per second. 9.6 gigabits per second. That is insane. Like here we're talking about Wi-Fi 5, and what we have is, but we're ranting and raving about 1.7 gigabits per second with an AC 1700. So so Daryl's, let's talk about VPNs for a second, because a VPN will slow you down. And with that, you guys, a lot of people go ahead and say, okay, well, I have a VPN, and boom, like you're off to the races. But a VPN is going to slow you down unless you know how to connect to a VPN. So let's say you're in Alaska, you don't want to connect to a server that's in New Mexico. That trip is just way too long. So you would want to go ahead and connect to a server in, let's say, Anchorage. So that's your first VPN server, right? It keeps your ping low. It keeps everything nice and tidy. For people who go ahead and say, well, my VPN's slowing me down, experiment with different servers that are closest to you. Now, I'm a big fan of Ipvanish because they got a shitload of servers, especially in Atlanta. Now, I'm in Orlando, and I can connect to Miami, but Atlanta's got like over 50 servers that I can connect to. So, I experiment, I find the one that I like, and if there's anybody down here in the South, I tell you what, Atlanta server 44, 46, 42, and 48. Those servers are always kicking ass. You guys got to go ahead and check that out. So, yeah. Now what I want to talk about some fun stuff, guys, because, like, we're always talking about, like, APKs and movies. And like I said, you could just go to CodyApp.com. But we heard about this guy. This guy, a billionaire. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is just proof that no matter how much money you have and you're still an ugly fuck, you just might not get laid. Now, this guy finds himself in a strip mall with a prostitute. And it's not just him, there's a lot of other men with money. And I'm saying to myself, like, how in the world? But then you got to think about it, right? In today's environment, in the Me Too movement, which I'm not taking anything away from women empowerment at all, you got to see how a man could be a little reluctant to even like take a glance at an attractive woman, especially if she's an employee. And, the guy's wife died, he's probably lonely. This might have happened when the Patriots lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles. You never know the state of mind, but to tie his name up to sex trafficking, I mean, that's kind of harsh. Yeah. That is kind of harsh. And, I don't know. I mean, like, he really should have just went ahead and listened to this man. Bill Belichick told him. He said, listen, man, you got to wear a hoodie. You got to wear a hoodie. You're going to go to these places, man. You got to wear a hoodie, man. People can't know who you are. Like, that's what you got to do. If you're going to do something like that, you're going to come all the way down to freaking sunny Florida. You got to go ahead and wear a hoodie. I mean, like, wow. Like, wow. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, Robert Kraft, he's probably just going to get a little slap on the wrist, and maybe his ego be hurt just a little bit, but the man's on his way out of Earth. I mean, like, come on. What did you got, 5-6 years? He's done. He doesn't care. I mean, he's not going to end up like Bill Cosby. He's not going to end up like R. Kelly. Like, the guy just had a little fun, you know. Somebody made a phone call. You know, honestly, though, I'm trying to figure out who made that phone call. You know, who told them? You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, with everything that's going on with freaking Momo, I said to myself, that's what happened. Momo sent him a message and said, you get your ass down to Florida and go get a happy ending, or you're going to have to trade Tom Brady for Sam Darnold. Seriously. Like, that's what happened. And really, who sent him that message was Woody Johnson from the Jets. That's the one who sent him the message. You know, the man was terrified. He was like, all right, I'm going to go get a happy ending. You know, Woody Johnson's laughing his ass off like, I sent him a Momo. And he went ahead and he got in trouble. You know, can you imagine that? Now, in all seriousness, this whole Momo thing, it's just totally out of control. And listen, parents, if you're not keeping an eye on your kids, like, what the fuck? I mean, wow. You know, more importantly, you got to encourage your kids to feel a little more special about themselves, you know? Like, oh, man, but that's really, really, really tragic, what's happening. And why it's going viral and why there are adults who are making this thing go viral, which is just damn maddening and sickening, you know. But Momo is responsible for Kraft going ahead and going down to South Florida and getting a happy ending and just calling it a freaking day. But it's sex trafficking, you know what? The guy's not going to go in there and say, hey, you know, like, are you guys all, like, documented? Like, no. I mean, he's not. Like, listen, I want top tutorials on my live show. I would love to have him on my live show. I'd fly the man down. The thing is, I'm worried ICE will go after his ass, and then he gets deported. And then, like, you know, like, that's not cool. That's really not cool. So, top tutorials, when things calm down, I'll fly you onto the side of the pond. But, I mean, that's really, you know, that's really how I'm feeling today. I just feel like, you know, hey, it's been a long week, and, you know, there's more to the world than just, like, APKs. And I hope you guys had a laugh. And also, starting next week, we will be doing a Q&A session. And in this Q&A session, I want you guys to follow me on ReviewDork, on Twitter, ReviewDork, and ask your questions. And what I'll end up doing is, if you guys put hashtag GabeNation with your questions, I'll go ahead and tally up my 5 favorite or the 5 most common. And I'm going to go ahead and have a Q&A session on next week's live show, where we really get our education on, all right? And I think that's really all I really have for you guys today. But I mean, did you guys have a good time? I mean, I was trying to be funny. I don't know if I was funny today. I mean, really, I mean, I don't know if I was funny. But before we get into the Q&A of today, and before you guys start asking me what's the best Android box or what's the best, you know, APK out there, I already showed you Kodi apps. You guys go ahead and just download whatever you see, the top 5 APKs at KodiApps.com and experiment. It's not going to cost you nothing but your time. In fact, you'll download these APKs much faster than you seek out some other YouTuber who's saying or speculating that an APK is you know, doing some FBI shit. Listen, you know, I really don't know what's wrong with this segment or this niche where everyone feels like they're being spied on and that kind of thing. Listen, they're not spying on you through your APKs. They're spying on you through GPS, your phone. Google. You guys ever think about this? How Google knows there's a traffic accident? I mean, does anybody call Google up and say, hey, traffic accident, your time is going to be delayed 46 minutes? No. It's constant data being transferred to Google servers, and it's pinging your devices. It knows where you guys are, and it's, you know, calculating movement. It's all relative. You guys don't have to go ahead and be paranoid about APKs, you know. I mean, if you're putting your credit card information in an APK, you deserve to be had. I mean, seriously. You deserve to be had. I will send you my Nigerian letter and tell you I'm some prince, and you will get $100 million if you just give me $500 million, and we could deposit it in your account. And you see what I'm saying? Like, so this whole paranoia about APKs stealing information, that kind of thing, like, they don't need to. I mean, you got Big Brother everywhere just doing it. The telecoms, you got Google, you got everybody doing it. In fact, I dare you guys do an exercise. Just leave your phone lying around somewhere. Walk around your house and talk about babies, or talk about marriage, or talk about a car that you might like. Consistently talk about it. Just walking by your phone. Your phone is listening. And this is documented. This is true, guys. This is not propaganda. This is real life shit. Your phone's listening. So the next time you go ahead and do a search, it's like, bam, you got an ad for fucking Ford Taurus, and they don't even make them anymore. But yeah, they're going to stop making them. But you're like, damn, I was just thinking about cars. I was talking about cars. Maybe I should buy this car. All right, Jeff, what's up? What's up? And so, I mean, that's really all I got for you guys today. And the best Android box out there is obviously the Amazon Fire TV Stick. And it's not an Android box. I just thought I'd preempt that because everybody's asking me, what's the best Android box? And right now, for the price, no one wants to spend over $100, because if you are going to spend over $100, you go ahead and get yourself an NVIDIA Shield. But if you want to spend less than $100, the Amazon 4K Fire Stick is all you need. So make sure you get an Amazon 4K Fire Stick. Make sure you upgrade your router. That link's also in the description. And make sure you guys go ahead and do that broadband test to find out how much broadband you really need. You know, if you're a power user, you're streaming, and, you know, you got 50 people living in your house. I mean, maybe your grandfather, your grandma, and your kids got kids, and their kids got kids, and their kids got kids, and got kids, and you got a whole lot of fucking kids in your house. Well, guess what? You're going to have slow internet. You're going to have to start charging. Put a quarter in it. That's what you're going to have to start doing. All right, guys. So, anyways, this is Gabe with ReviewDork. I have fun tonight. I hope you guys have fun tonight. And next week, we will be doing another giveaway. I noticed some people on our live stream that got the giveaway from last week. And I want you guys to let everybody know how awesome Ology TV is, because it really is freaking awesome. I mean, just like me. No, not really. Anyways, guys, I'm signing out. It is late. Sorry about the hiccup, the technical difficulties. I think I'm going to throw out that computer. Seriously. Maybe out this window. I'll probably throw it out this window, honestly. But this is Gabe with ReviewDork. I'm signing out. Peace.